Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a quick flashlight video. This is just going to be a quick overview. It's not a full review. I've just gotten these in and I thought I'd quickly share them with you. What I have here is the Olight bundle that was on sale a couple of weeks ago. Like you, I was pretty happy to get in on this deal. I've wanted um, a Warrior X Pro for some time, but at 175 bucks, I just couldn't justify it. But when you could get both of these lights together for like I don't know, it was about 140 bucks, like 137 or anyway, around 140 bucks. That was pretty appealing to me, and so I jumped on the deal as soon as you could. Um, I have to say that, lights, I'm not quite as excited about lights as I am about knives, but I was pretty interested to get my hands on this one. So there's the light itself. I did go with the camo. I wanted it to match my Get Her Done t-shirt. Now, honestly, though, when I looked at this camo, you notice how it's not real camo. It's just sort of an interesting finish. And I thought, that looks kind of cool. The other option was slate gray, which I thought was pretty boring. So, given the choice, I was like, yeah, let's flash it up and go with the camo and have something a little bit different. Even though, as I say, this hardly looks like a camo pattern to me. It looks almost like more like a decorative pattern than intended to hide anything at all. All right. And of course, it came along with the i5T or i5T EOS, both of which I've actually been interested in. Certainly this one more so, but let me give you a quick rundown on this before we kind of get into this any further. So AA light, which is always nice. I'll just pop this open really, really quickly. So a AA light, which is great because of the fact that you can pick up those extra batteries anywhere. I will make the same recommendation I always make. My experience has been, and I think you'll find the same thing, that if you, go out of your way, wait till you're at a proper department store instead of like Dollarama or even a hardware store or whatever, and buy decent like Energizer or Duracell batteries, you'll probably find the performance is better. I have in the past, stopped at Dollarama or something and picked up a bunch of light batteries, and they seem to burn out so quickly that it's really not worth it. You end up whatever you save by going to Dollarama, you spend because you're buying more batteries all the time. So uh, that's my take on the battery stuff, and I've made that given that piece of advice before. The nice thing is, though, you can get AA batteries anywhere, and so and the other thing is, okay, so you can get the batteries anywhere for this. You're going to get 300 lumens, which is pretty stinking impressive. So actually, I'll hold on a minute before I start turning this on and off. 3.5 inches, about 5/8. It's actually just under 5/8 in diameter and 2.2 ounces. So pretty small light to get 300 lumens out of this. Now, when you click it on initially, you're going to get the 15 lumen mode. If you click it on and then click it on quickly again, then you'll get the 300. And, that 300 is going to drop down to, I think, 150 lumens and then down to 30 lumens over time. I'll get into all that with the full review. And then level 2, if you just leave it alone, if you just click this on, automatically it's going to come on in 15 lumen mode. So pretty nice little light, fairly easy to work. One thing that I would say about both of these lights is we've had other lights, the other Olights we've looked at here, they're various. Often they have a tail switch and a side switch. And, I'm kind of talking about how to get all the different functionality to happen. These are just really, really basic. You click it and then you click it again, and there you go. So I like the simplicity of this. I like the size of it. I like the weight of it. I think this is a pretty capable EDC light, and so I was pretty happy to get this, and of course I'll do a full review. So the other nice thing about this deal is I end up, I spend less money than I would have just on the Warrior X, but I end up getting two lights to share with you guys, and so it helps with channel content as well. Not sure if I'm going to keep all of these long term. This one is definitely a keeper for me, at least at this point. I may or may not part with this one sometime down the road. Anyway, let's get to the big guy now, the Warrior X Pro that everyone came to see. First of all, I'll just let you kind of check it out. I personally think this finish looks pretty cool. Now, I understand that probably not everyone is going to love it, but I enjoy this quite a bit. It's definitely a big light and quite bright, and I've wanted something like this for a while, sort of a medium-sized thrower. I have a Popkin style, the BLFQ8, and it's nice and it has a lot of light, but it's not, it's not even a light that I can practically throw in my bag because it's actually that big and that heavy. I do keep it in the truck and I love it out there. But this feels like something that's a little more carryable on person. Maybe not so much in pocket, but certainly on a belt or in my EDC bag, which I definitely appreciate. And that's sort of the reason why I bought this. And I'll kind of run through, how I envision using this when we get to the end of the video. Very quickly, let's give you guys size and weight on this, and then we'll get into, lumens and function. Okay, so this guy is going to be just under 6 inches long, like 5 7/8 or so, a little over 1.5 inches diameter on the bezel up here. You can obviously, it's quite big and thick at the bezel, and down here it's just a little over an inch, like an inch and an eighth or so. So fairly substantial light. It's going to, not be something you're going to want to carry in your pocket, and it does come with a sheath. So let's I'll pull the sheath back in a second after I give you functionality. So the way this is going to work is if you do a half push, you're going to get the 300 lumens. If you do a full push, you're going to get 2250. If you do a half push and let go, so almost like a click, although it doesn't really click, it's going to stay on in the 300 lumen mode. Okay, and if you do a click into with a full push, you're going to get the full 2250. If you only do sorry, if you hold in either one of those situations, so I'm going to do a full push and hold it. Now, if I let go, it goes right back off. If I do a half push and hold it and let go, it goes right back off. So you've got sort of the instant on, instant off feature, as well as, a full click and let go is going to give you the full functionality. Okay, so again, very, very simple on the operation of this. And this is going to be, I'm going to get these numbers wrong. So 2250, then it drops down to 1,000, then it drops down to 300. Again, I'll give you more details on that in the full review, as well as, of course, some outdoor beam shots and stuff like that. It's going to also be, on the 300 lumen mode, give you 8 hours of runtime, which is pretty stinking good. All right, so we've covered operation, we've covered lumens, we've covered just about everything that I can't think to care about for, what I would see as a first impressions. Oh yeah, the other thing is, I mentioned already that this is not what I consider an EDC light. It's not going to do well in a pocket. I mean, it's carryable for sure if you need something like that, but definitely for me, this is a light that I'm going to carry in the sheath on my bag rather than on my person. I suppose, having that versatility, being able to put a belt through here and carry this on your belt if needed, that's fine too, especially, if you're law enforcement, if you're security, something along those lines. It wouldn't work very well, I don't think, in my bunker gear. I have an 18650 in my an 18650 light in my bunker gear, and that's fine for that. Again, this is not really what I think of as an on-person carry type of light. So search and rescue, law enforcement, camping, hiking, any of those kinds of things where you want that extra capability where hey, if I am here a little bit past dark, if I get stuck or something and I need a light, I've got something very, very capable. And I have, and perhaps some of you have been through this, I have been in a situation where I had a light like this, just a AA light with me, and I was walking out of the bush in the dark, and as I was leaving, I did start to, I could see the battery starting to diminish, and I'd only used it, maybe for 40 minutes or so. But of course, when you have a light like this and it's sitting there, if I don't use this, let's say for 6 months, how reliable is that? So I suppose the same thing could be true of this, but this you can pop on the charger a little more frequently. So I have had that happen to me, and since that time, actually on another occasion, I had my Olight S Mini with me, and I was on a fire call, and I was asked to escort one of the, I was asked to escort the property owner back into the property after the fire was put out and everything was safe. I escorted him in, and my light started to die, and so that was doubly embarrassing. One, it was embarrassing because here I am, supposed to be a professional, and my equipment's failing, although it was my personal light, not a hall light. And the other thing I was like, man, this is one of the weaknesses of lights that take a battery and you don't carry an extra battery around with you all the time. So that's something to think about, and certainly it's happened to me where I feel like if I had a bigger light, knowing that I could use this at 300 lumens for 8 hours, that's pretty confidence inspiring. So there you go, guys. That's my quick rundown, my initial thoughts on these lights. I am pretty happy with them. I will, I've already gone out and played with these outdoors a little bit yesterday. I'm hoping there's a trail near me, and in preparation for the full review, I'm going to take this and a couple of other lights out into the bush at night and kind of walk down the trail and just show you guys how the different lights work. It's a long straight trail, so I think I can get some good throw shots, as well as kind of look into the bush and look around and see how you can see how well they function when you're in a situation where you really need a flashlight. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will put Amazon links to both of these down below, and if you use that, it does help the channel. I'll put also links to White Mountain Knives and Southern Edge Knife Works, the channel sponsors, because using those links is a big help, and those discount codes saves you and gives me a little bit of a boost from each of those stores. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you soon.